Now, my friends, just because we are on a quasi-emergency here, it's not really an emergency, we just need to work pretty quick. My friends, the game is definitely not feeling okay. Look at this. Delivering obsidian. From where? Well, Bubbles, I would say this is probably not the safest of working environments. Please move out of there. Hello there, I'm the Biz Manager and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Now, today we'll start the episode by pausing it because every second counts, okay? Today's objective is quite simple. We want to keep on building our planetary scale steam chamber. Unfortunately, this is going to take a little bit of time. The temperatures in here are extremely cold, and so these volcanoes will have to work for a little while. Besides, we have an emergency to deal with. Over here on this planet, our dual volcano tamer has been broken down by the temperatures that we have achieved over here. So pretty much the steam condensated all into water, there was a vacuum, and these machines were working in vacuum, meaning bad things happened. We need to come over here and fix this. There is a simple solution, so this is going to be quite simple. But first, we need to send the rocket back to resupply. Let's select the planet, because I don't think we have enough fuel to come over here first and then go back home. So we are going to go back home, quickly resupply the rocket, and then go into the other planet. Now, please go, rocket. Thank you. Now, my friends, there is other things that we also need to take into consideration. First, let's just call in a crew to take care of that rocket. So, my friends, I will explain it in the future, but for now, let's just say that I have knowledge from the future, okay? Future me has sent me psychic messages, and he told me that there is a few things that we need to do. Like, for example, we need to take care of our cooling loop over here. We are using polluted water for this cooling loop, but unfortunately, the cooling water, the polluted water no longer has the capability of absorbing all the heat that is being dumped into it. Not only that, but because last episode we upgraded our entire power line, we now have the capabilities of connecting all of these power buildings into our grid and utilizing them for power production. We are not doing that, we are not going to do that, however, because of the problem with the temperature. In fact, my friends, we are going to stop this power plant immediately by doing this, right? Right now, this power plant has been shut off, and we are going to come over here, snip this line and absorb all the coolant into this liquid reservoir so that we can then destroy it. And once again, my friends, I have knowledge from the future, and I know precisely how much coolant we have in here, 7.2 tons, which means we'll have to absorb 5 tons, deconstruct this, and then rebuild another liquid reservoir to absorb the remaining water. However, this is also quite nice, because now we can start the supercoolant production. We have roughly 4 tons of supercoolant over there, which means we need a little bit more of supercoolant produced to replace it over here. By replacing the polluted water with the supercoolant, we will make sure that this cooling loop can actually absorb all the heat generated by this power plant, plus the heat generated by this natural gas vent, because this cooling loop also cools off these gases, and all of this also is cooled off by this cooling loop. So there is a lot of things that get cooled off by this cooling loop, and the polluted water simply doesn't have the capability of absorbing all of that. And I think the supercoolant will be a great addition, because if we go over here into the stats, we can quickly see that supercoolant has a stupid amount of specific heat capacity. It absorbs 8.4 dupe thermal units before it increases 1 degree, unlike the polluted water, which can only absorb, I believe it's 4, right? Yeah, 4 DTUs before it increases a degree, which pretty much means supercoolant can absorb double the amount of temperature before it increases 1 degree, and because the aqua tuner always shields out 14 degrees, that means the aqua tuner deletes more heat per use, which is fantastic. Now, if you are wondering how do you have this knowledge from the future, my friends, well, let me just show you one thing. Do you see that over there? Let's just say that OBS was really mean to me, and I got pretty salty, and that's why this episode has been delayed. But oh well, now I'm back. Now my saltiness is gone, and I can now continue playing the game. Now, my friends, because we are going to go into low power mode, another thing that we are going to do is we are going to stop Radbolt production, because Radbolt production is incredibly power hungry, and so we pretty much just turn this Radbolt production facility into a power production facility, and this is going to sustain us while we do the cooling exchange. Okay? So now, all dupes, get back to work. There is plenty of stuff left to do. Yeah, this thing is not going to operate for a very long time, but goddamn, we have so much time, and it's not like we need these operating 24/7. I also noticed that this thing is not working for some reason. The solid port unloader is not unloading the solid port over here. Why? Game. Okay, this is weird. Time to figure out what the hell is going on. Okay, so this rocket had to send it into space and land it back again to have this thing working. For some reason there was a bug of some sort. Okay, it's fixed now at least. Now, my friends, the cool thing about having the insight of the future is that you know precisely where the problems are going to occur, which once again it kinda makes it less fun, to be perfectly honest, because yeah, this thing is about to break as well. For some reason I kinda know that, you know, I just instinctively know that, and so I have the instinct of going over here and fix it. It's not like I have done this before or anything. Oh, and would you look at that. Like I said, we got ourselves 7 point something tons. I said 7.2, it's 7.3. Oh well, I missed my mark for a little bit. In any case, now that we have emptied the cooling loop, we are going to deconstruct this to remove the polluted water from there. We are going to empty this one pipe that we have left over here, because there is one bit of polluted water still in there, and then once all of that is done, we are going to start bringing some not polluted, but some super coolant over here to fill up the loop once again, and hopefully fix some of our future issues. Now, I'm also going to upgrade our line with some radiant aluminum pipes, because let me tell you this thing. Right now the temperature is not like ultra great, but look at the temperature of this water. Just looking at the temperature of this water, one can imagine the temperature at the temperature that these things run at, which is pretty high. Using these radiant pipes, it's going to help it out a lot. So let's just do that while the line is still stopped, and then we can put the super coolant inside. Okay, my friends, with the line empty and upgraded, as we can see, I have upgraded the line considerably. We have a bunch of radiant pipes all over the place. I even upgraded it over here, because if we can chill out the oil refineries, the petroleum will be produced at a far cooler temperature, which would mean that then that temperature would not be transferred to the petroleum generators, in turn would just, well, let's just say it will help out in the long run, because right now the petroleum is extremely hot, as we can see right there, and that is no good. We want that lower, but in any case, now that this is done, let's request super coolant at ultra priority. I'm just going to endure the yellow alert, because, well, transferring 7 tons of super coolant is going to take its sweet time, and I want the dupes to just focus on this and forget everything else that I told them to do. And, well, at least using the yellow alert, you are pretty much forcing your dupes to do just this. So, now it's just a matter of me pretending that, oh no, what is going on over here? No power, why? Oh! Damn it. Okay. I was wondering where the hell that copper had shown up, and that's where. Alright, but in any case, our colonist tubes are back. We are just going to refuel the rocket and send it over here as quick as we possibly can. This one is still filling up. Because, yeah, like I said, the coolant is getting a little bit too hot. Now, luckily for us, there is a very simple way for us to fix this. First, we are going to be able to enter the chamber without breaking it because of this little bit of water. Yep, this mess is actually going to save us. It's like sometimes the game works in unpredictable ways. But what we are going to do is quite simple. We are going to build a thermal sensor right there. And this thermal sensor is going to control the steam turbines. Come on. Preventing them from operating at below a certain temperature. We are going to set up to 150, meaning that the steam should always have a relatively high temperature, that it should never condensate, even if both of the volcanoes go dormant for a very long time. That's like kind of the theory behind it. And well, when it comes to power production, these things are still going to operate enough that the jumbo batteries should remain full for a very long time. And you know what, my friends, I just explained that and this thing is full. Okay, which means our dupes are going. They are not even going to spend dinner with their friends. We are going to call them, send them over here so we can deploy one rover to help us out. And we are going. We are going immediately. Time to leave. Come on. Just press that one button that sends the rocket. There we go. Beautiful. Here we go. We should be there like in no time at all. Just a few cycles. Now we should soon. Yep, this rocket just got filled up. We should have these two rockets coming back home. Hopefully, we'll be able to have our power line running again, so that we have enough radbolts to refill the radbolt rockets to pretty much just send these dupes on more mining missions as they arrive. Now, my friends, just because we are on a quasi-emergency here, it's not really an emergency, we just need to work pretty quick, so it doesn't become an emergency. I'm going to call Ascan over here, because, well, he's not really going to do too much about the present emergency, and we are going to continue exploring the cosmos. We only have these two triangles left for us to explore, and then this rocket becomes obsolete, which is pretty nice, if you ask me. Getting the entirety of the cosmos explored would be nice, and then being able to transform this rocket into something else would also be pretty cool. And our friends have arrived. Let's deploy the rover. Let's go back into the planet. Land them over here. Make sure Turner doesn't leave. And what? Once we land, come on. Land, land, land. Yeah, if you thought I could escape the happy noises in here, you were completely mistaken, my friend, because happy noises are about to return. Here we go. I think I'm just being a little bit of a masochist here. Now, we must deconstruct these things, because we don't have the steel to rebuild them. So yeah, by deconstructing them we get the same amount of materials back, which means we can reconstruct them. However, if you're going to repair, you need to have a certain amount of material to input into the building to repair it, and then after the repair is done, the building will output the same amount of material that you have put into it. But first you need to have the material to start with, right? And we don't have that. And yeah, let's go. Happy noises. Come on. Deconstruct these and rebuild all of this, please. Now, as we can see over here, this packet of water is going to sustain the steam chamber for the amount of time that it takes us to rebuild everything, and building this as well. So I want you to build this with top priority, and then you can go and build the remaining of the stuff. There we go. There we go, my friends. This has been saved. It says over here that we don't have enough duplicates to do that. I don't think you're correct, game, but okay. Now we just need to wait until the next cycle, so the dupes come over here, set up the automation system, and everything is going to be golden, my friends. We have just saved this project over here. Alright, my friends. Nice. Okay, we have built everything in here. Let's just come over here and set this one to all, so that we absorb all of that gold. And now we can just relax for a little bit. Just a little bit. Our dupes will build this with top priority. However, I just don't need to be hearing the happy noises forever now. We just need to wait a few more cycles, but yeah, the second this thing is done, we are going to send our dupes back into our main planet, refill the rocket, and then send them back into the ice planet so that we can continue building the project that we were actually working on. Alright, so here we go. This sensor is set up to be sending a green signal above 150. And this one is going to let the items pass above 160 because it was previously set to 135, but if this sensor is not going to allow the steam chamber to go below 150, that would mean that the items would never get below that temperature. So we need to raise it slightly above the temperature of the steam chamber, otherwise we'll never get anything leaving the chamber itself. Cool. This job is done. Dupes, get in here immediately. We have to go right now. Time is flying and we have other projects to do. Alright, my friends, so the rocket is already back. We are already refueling it, and well, pretty much the second we have enough fuel, we are going. Okay? I'm pretty sure we are going this cycle. Let's go and go over here. Select, but I'm not just yet selecting the crew. I kind of want Bubbles and Travaldo to do some tasks while they are here, right? It's not like they are going to stay in here for a very long time, so they better just help out while they are at it. Besides, oh no, yeah, this thing, I completely forgot. Yeah, so, last time, it took me like 3 cycles to leave, not because I needed the fuel, but because I needed the suits. From time to time this thing bugs out, so we are just going to go straight into like forcing the dupes to do what we want by setting this limit to the maximum and setting this as an emergency. I am a little bit tired of hearing happy noises, but I really need the dupes to deliver the freaking suits, otherwise our guys cannot work on the other planet, right? So yeah, let's just put all the suits that the colony has to offer over here. I will then produce more. It's fine. It's like suits are cheap at this stage of the game. And on more good news, my friends, I believe the cooling loop has been completely filled up, and we even have a little bit of super coolant left. Let's reduce the priority to 1 so the dupes stop doing that. We are going to have around 400 kilograms of extra coolant. I think. Yeah, 450 kilograms of extra coolant. It's good enough. Okay, my friends. So, crisis averted. Yay! Our super cooling loop is now operational. Now, I'm not going to turn off the power plants just yet because we just dumped so much heat into the map without even realizing it. I want the cooling loop to run its course for a little while because we need to stabilize the temperature up here as well. So, yeah, I'm going to let it just run for a few cycles, and after I am satisfied with the temperature that we have achieved, I will then turn on the power plants once again. Alright, I would say this is enough suits. I'm not going to count them, but yeah, we have 11 suits in there. So, I think 11 suits is going to be good enough. Please, crew, come into the rocket. Let's launch as fast as we humanly can. There we go, we are now launching the rocket. The dupes were asleep, so it took them a while. Now, if I am able to reach this planet before cycle 10-12, then I have beaten my previous self, so I'll be happy. I'll have at least that little consolation prize to happy myself, to, you know, make myself feel like I didn't waste like 3 hours of my time. Alright, my friends, our petroleum rockets are back, and they brought with them a bunch of artifacts, in this case, 2 office mugs. There we go. And over here, there we go. Okay, my friends, so now that we have finally managed most of our emergencies, we can start thinking about, long-term plans. One of them is ripping the science facility off. We have no more researches to do, and I'm pretty sure there will be no more DLCs for a reasonable amount of time. So I think it's safe for us to remove our science facilities and use this space over here to create more rooms. So pretty much the way that this is working so far is we have an individual room for dupes that stay in the colony. Rocketeer dupes, they pretty much never spend any time on the colony anyway, so they don't need a room. And we could use a few more dupes to help out around. I think that's a fair thing to do, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this room over here, move the barracks over here, because the barracks is for when the Rocketeer dupes need a place to crash while they are swapping rockets. And then we are going to use these 3 rooms over here to create more apartments. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, so if you excuse me, I have a lot of the construction to do. Alright, my friends, another quadrant of the cosmos analyzed. We did discover a wrecked spaceship. I mean, it's an artifact, I'm pretty sure. But okay. We are 0.3 cycles away from getting in here. We are going to arrive roughly at the same time as I did last time. But, oh well, that's fine. That's fine. Alright, here we go. Let's deploy a rover right there. And then let's go over here, land the rocket. Pretty cool. So now that we are over here, our mission is to build a billion steam power plants over here. We probably need to send... Oh yeah, we need to send plastic. We need to send plastic over here to build the power plants, but after we build the steam turbines, we pretty much just need to wait until all of this ice is melted, which is going to take a sweet time. Yeah, it's going to be a few cycles before we actually have some steam being formed. But alright, my friends, now that a few cycles have elapsed, I am confident on opening up the power plants again. We need those rad bolts, so yeah, let's just protect the power line against spikes in over 45 watts, 45 kilowatts. I'm pretty sure we won't be producing that much power. But well, at least now we are back in business, which means we can start producing rad bolts again, which means that all of our rad rockets can go back into space. So time to refill all of these rockets with the remaining rad bolts that we have, which it's not a lot. We have 6,000 rad bolts, but I'm pretty sure that at least the mining rockets will be operational and ready to go. Well, my friends, we managed to get 1 rocket operational. That's totally fine. I'm getting this cargo transfer not complete. I really don't get what is going on. For some reason, it's reading the cargo of the other rockets connected to this thingy. Today the ports are a tad bit bugged, but we are just going to ignore them. This thing is empty, we can see it over there. So I'm going to just acknowledge the warnings and send a rocket over here into this glimmering asteroid field. There is still plenty of mass in these 2 asteroid fields, so I'm going to just try to mine as much as I can out of them. Yeah, this thing is a tad bit bugged out because there is absolutely no cargo anywhere to be transferred, and I still get that bug. Oh well. I don't know. We'll have to hope that this thing will go away by itself. Well, my friends, and now that we have some time to relax and do things that need to be done, I am pleased to announce that we are now calling in the crew. The crew is already aboard. I am happy to announce that we are going on our final discovery mission, my friends. Yay! All the tiles are about to be revealed. There will be no more secrets in this map. We will know everything. Ascan, are you ready? I am. Let's go! Alright, so it is time for somewhat of a large overhaul of our main base. As we can see, we are going to have 3 additional apartments, which is pretty nice, and then we get these 2 little tiny little rooms that I still don't have exactly something to do with them. One of them is going to be occupied with the artifact analysis station, because we still need that. But I don't know, we'll see what we do with them. And yeah, as we can see, we have our barracks for our... You're already here, Turner! Wow, you... Okay, for our Rocketeer dupes, right? Our Rocketeer dupes will serve themselves of this barracks and this bathroom when they are around. However, with this we can now recruit 3 additional dupes. I was thinking maybe a couple extra mechatronics engineers would be nice to operate all of the machineries that we have laying around. Right now we don't have a lot of work orders, but that can change at any moment. Okay, maybe this is a... Wow, you see, the problem with having an automatic system is that if you take your eyes off of it, it can go overboard. A little bit too quick. Yeah, maybe we have already sent too many resources into the other planet. How about we stop for a moment? Now, my friends, over here on the home front, there is a few things that we need because, well, my water levels have shrunk significantly, so we need to start taking care of taming this thing over here. We are going to use our upgraded cooling loop to achieve that. We are going to do something very similar to what we have been doing to control temperature pretty much all over the place. We are going to use a sensor to determine if the door should be open or closed in order to absorb the temperature from this chamber into the cooling loop. Right, what we are going to pretty much determine is the temperature of the coolant. We don't want the coolant to be above 25 degrees, so it doesn't tax the cooling loop too much. At 25 degrees, I think it's a decent temperature to keep the remaining of the base at. So if that gets above 25 degrees, the door will open. Really? Okay. The door will open, preventing the temperature from being transferred from here into the cooling loop. And you know, this is not supposed to work super fast, it's something that is going to work over time, and eventually the water is going to be at a somewhat decent enough temperature that we can take it from here into our main storage. My friends, the game is definitely not feeling okay. Look at this. Delivering obsidian. From where? I tell you from where. From here. We are essentially teleporting the items. I don't... What? This is the weirdest thing I have ever seen, my friends. I think that because I had to load the game from a backup, you know, because of the thing that I told you before, with OBS not recording, being mean to me and all of that, I think I destroyed my save file with a, you know, there is like, I destroyed it just slightly. Everything, like 95% of the stuff is working. Is just that some things are definitely not working. Okay, my friends, apparently saving and loading the game stops the bug. Alright, so let's take a look on the other planet. Okay, finally we are inputting the stuff over here. Now, I'm just wondering what the hell happened to the, like, I had approximately 11 tons of gold inside of this rocket before the bug, you know, started happening. It's not like I care too much about that, it's just out of curiosity. Let's see if we add the recent input of gold. Oh. The graph... The graph is not available, god damn it. Because you can kinda... Game, could you please unpause? Yeah, you see, you can see the graph of resources being used, spent and inputted, and created, I mean. But because I saved and loaded the game, I don't have access to that information. But given the amount of gold that we have... I mean, 11 tons, that's a lot of gold, and I don't think we got... I think those resources got sent into oblivion, but oh well, it was just gold, aluminum, and some minerals, so it's not exactly the most important thing ever. I mean, the game is still a little bit messed up, but at least the teleportation thingy has stopped for a little while. But hey, could you please board this rocket? Since we already have one over here offloading materials, we could send you back into space to get more. Yeah, I think I might have broken something, but you know, as long as it is not critical, we are just going to pretend and continue doing our thing. My friends, I have wonderful news. We have explored the entire map. There is absolutely no secrets whatsoever. This rocket has become completely obsolete, which is just fantastic, which means we can upgrade it into something else. But yeah, all the map completely explored. Isn't this beautiful? Alright, so over here, as we can see, now this thing is going to be operating for a little while. Every time the coolant gets too hot, it opens the door, but it only needs to open a little bit at a time. And as we can see, now it's not even opening at all because the super coolant is just that powerful at absorbing temperature. Oh well. Now, we are going to set up this thing to make sure that there is always water on this level because it's the level making contact with the metal tile, and we always want to have a little bit of water to help condensating the steam that comes out of the cool steam vent. Alright, my friends, so our dupes have been working pretty efficiently over here. We are going to have a ginormous loop for the materials. I kinda want the iron to come all the way to the bottom. Should we have any water accumulating over here, I think it's kinda useful to have the iron close by so it can transfer the temperature towards the water. And then, you know, once it reaches the top, we will have the typical thingy like this thingy over here, right? Monitoring the temperature of the rail and allowing the conveyor shut off to output the stuff outside, right? At least this is the objective. Now this is going to be very, very expensive. I've been sending some wolframite, but yeah, we're going to have to send several tons, and as you know, interplanetary shipping is kind of expensive on the Red Bulls, so we might take a little bit of time until we have all the materials that we need. Besides, the dupes are not exactly really collecting all of the packets. I'm pretty certain we have a bunch of wolframite just sitting in here somewhere. Well, my friends, our dupes over here are pretty much doing the best they can, and we already have power to all of the auto sweepers. We still don't have enough steel over here to do all the thingies. We have been sending a little bit at a time, but you know how it goes. It always takes a very long time. But in any case, I've been focusing a little bit too much on this, and I have well, this is turning into an issue. Because this thing, right, not only feeds water into our main water grid, but it also provides water over here. Now, I had a small reserve over here, which means that we still have enough petroleum going, but and they are stopped because we have more than enough. This is just operating with the water that it had on the pipes, but still we are consuming a lot of petroleum, and that means that we are also consuming a lot of water. I had hopes that this was going to chill out this water, and it is, you know, over time. The problem is it's not doing a good enough job, so, you know, I think that technically we could build a separate cooling loop just to tame this thing. Now, the problem with that is that, well, we are going to be wasting 1.2 kilowatts of power just to tame a volcano, and that hurts a little bit, to be honest. Now, the positive side is that why are you building that already? Please stop. That was just to see if I could build it or not. The positive side is that the cooling loop will not be operating all the time, so we are only going to be consuming a little bit of extra power. So I suppose that in the end it's kind of okay, and I'm going to do it because this is a large amount of water. We need this water, and we also need all the water that we can over from this cool steam vent, and we need it at a decent temperature, because otherwise we are just going to be transferring a huge amount of temperature into our base, which we are making a large effort into keeping into a relative livable temperature, right? In fact, we can already see the effects of not having properly tamed steam vents is having on this, right? 32 degrees is a little bit hotter than I would like, and that's mostly because of this thing, this water over here. So I think I'm going to be running this cool steam vent really cold, like as cold as I can, and then that might even out the temperature with the other steam vent. Alright, so if we are to tame this steam vent, we probably are going to require a couple of changes around here. So let's just open up some space so that we can put down a steam turbine, a cooling loop, and all of those beautiful things. Okay, my friends, so I think I already have on paper what I kinda want this thing to look like. We are going to have a cooling loop set right here. This thermo aqua tuner is going to chill. I don't know if we should use super coolant or not. I mean, this is a very tiny loop, so it would not be very expensive on the cooling loop on the super coolant front. But in any case, this thing is going to have a small loop that first goes through the water over here to make sure that the water always receives the coldest of coolant, and then we'll go and move all the way up here. We only have radiant pipes over here. The rest is just granite. So that we don't overtax the loop with a lot of temperature all at once. And yeah, pretty simple. We're going to put some temperature shift plates just to help out condensate the steam. Once we have everything built, we are going to vacuum this chamber so there is nothing but water and steam. And then we are just going to close this off and pretend it doesn't exist because, well, it's not exactly the prettiest of things, shall we say. Well, my friends, those kinds of problems that... What? Unreachable food? Okay, I'm going to take care of that. Okay. Now that we have the steam thingy going, I have to keep on focusing on my starport. This rocket has arrived a long time ago. In fact, we already removed all of the stuff from its storage. Which means we can start sending these red rockets once again. That's why the unreachable food, because this rocket is not yet on... in space, so let's launch it so Bahi can have her dinner. We are now going to send these rockets into the into these rocky asteroid fields to let these two thingies refilled. They are very low on materials, so if we send one more mission over here, we are not going to collect everything, so I mean, we are not going to fill up storage, so we better just start going towards other asteroids and collecting those things. We could also return over here, but oh well, we can let it recharge for a little while. I should, however, keep my eye on these radioactive fields, so that I can come over here and collect this uranium. In fact, I think that the next one that we are going to send is going to come into these two thingies. Now, over on this side of the cosmos, we have a second iron volcano coming online, which is pretty nice. This thing is just going to melt a bunch of polluted water, which is going to create sand, but oh well, that's fine. That's why our dupes are here. I really would like to get this conveyor rail going so that we could start collecting this iron and put it into circulation to distribute the heat across the entire map. Oh wow! These things are potent! Look at that! And auto super taking damage. Interesting. Are you okay? You are okay. This one is also okay. This one, for some reason, is taking damage. Oh well, I suppose we can always deconstruct it and rebuild it once again. Alright, my friends, these things got repaired just in time for the iron volcano to get activated. We are going to put some temperature shift plates made out of ice behind the machinery, just to protect it a little bit, and it also might help out in the process of melting all of these ice. If we just bring the ice from down here next to the volcanoes, eventually the volcanoes are going to melt it, right? And you know, it also protects the machinery, so we are doing a double on this. Well, my friends, I think we should start calling these temperature shift plates central, because, yeah, we are going to have a billion temperature shift plates, because, well, they are costing us ice, and there is plenty of ice to go around, so why not... Hello? Why are we melting stuff over here? Interesting. Okay. I mean, I won't say no to that, but still, I would rather to melt the stuff in here. Well, Bubbles, I would say this is probably not the safest of working environments. Please move out of there. For the time being, of course. Go do something else. Yeah, go do something else. You dupes like to suffer, don't you? Don't you, Bubbles? Please, don't do that to yourself. Oh my fucking Lord Jesus, you are really annoying sometimes. Just stop doing that. Like, there is a 1,000 work orders to do. But no, they have to do the one, which is dangerous to them. Could you please just, like, do everything else except for that? You know what, my friends, given the tendency of our dupes to get themselves hurt all the time, I don't think it is a terrible idea to get a infirmary going, at least just for basic injuries. Now, my friends, Bubbles and Travaldo, they have suffered quite severe injuries, if you ask me. I'm just going to build themselves a triage cot and let them heal a little bit so that they, yeah, so that we don't want to lose them to a random accident, given their tendency to get themselves hurt when we are not looking. I think it's probably for the best if they get to recover a little bit. One quick visit to the dock and the dupes are back. Brand is new. Well, Bubble still has a little bit of damage, but she can heal up during her regular sleep. So as long as they don't decide to stick around this particular place when this particular volcano is during a very particular phase, they shouldn't get damage. But yet again, they got injured in the first place, doing something very similar to what I just described. But well, my friends, over here on the home front, we are almost done with our cooling loop. We just need to find a way to fill up the loop itself with the fluids and build the final piece, which is right here, the steam turbine. Once this is done and the fluid is within the loop, this cooling loop will be done. Now, we won't be emptying this of carbon dioxide until this vent goes dormant, which is in just a few cycles, so future me will have to remember to do this, so that we don't break the pipes with steam. There is no point in creating a mess, there is like no rush, so... You know what, my friends, super coolant be damned. I think that's a little bit too complicated, so what we are going to do is this. We are going to connect that thing over there. By the way, I don't want any dupes coming in here if they don't have to. And let's just start putting a little bit of... Hello? Ah, there we go. Let's start by putting a little bit of petroleum into the loop. It's not as efficient as supercoolant, but oh well. It's a fluid that won't boil in the pipes with the temperatures of the steam vents, so that's all that I actually care about. Alright, so here we go. Now the only thing we have to do is chill out this petroleum, because the petroleum is cool. Oh boy. Please don't crash, game, thank you. Because the petroleum is quite toasty, and we still need to chill it out a little bit, but at the same time, you know, this now can take its course, and hopefully once we come back to this, the temperature of this water will be below 50 degrees. But well, my friends, over here on this planet, I think that structure-wise we are pretty much done. Like, we have all the infrastructure that we need to tame the volcanoes once we reach the temperature. We just need to reach the temperature, right? We all know how cold this planet is, and well, we'll have to go through a lot of temperature shift plates, but well, I mean, it's not like these dupes have anything better to do, so I think they are just going to sit in this planet for the foreseeable future, building a billion, zillion, quadrillion temperature shift plates made out of ice, brine, and everything in between. Wow, you have really good timing, let me tell you. You're really going to build this thing like with a bunch of other things to do? Yeah, like, no. Do this thing first over here, please. Okay, thank you. These dupes, they always find ways to get themselves hurt. Incredible. But in any case, pretty much these dupes labor will just be building temperature shift plates. The reason for that is we need a way to start transferring the temperature efficiently, right? And without damaging our machinery. Because, like, there is very little atmosphere, there is not really a good way of transferring temperature without actually using the temperature shift plates. Pretty much what we are doing is we are grabbing ice from down here, which is extremely cold, and bringing it over here where it absorbs temperature, turns into its liquid form, and drops below, turning into ice again. And then we grab it, bring it over here, and build the stuff again. And this, over time, will slowly and steadily start to increase the temperature of the stuff over here, right? And also building all of these temperature shift plates will also help out, chilling out the iron and all the other materials that we get, plus, once again, transferring the temperature from the stuff into the ice, hopefully increasing its temperature enough that will eventually turn into water. Now, that will become an issue, because once we have water, we won't have ice to build temperature shift plates to protect our machinery. So, my idea is that once we start reaching that point, I'm actually going to insulate this area with flooring, or in this case with tiles, right over here at the bottom of the rail. And the reason for that is the second we have some water being formed, the iron, which will be extremely hot, will go through the water and turn it into steam, hopefully. That's kind of the idea behind it, and hopefully that is going to speed up the heating process to the point that we actually don't break too much stuff. But that's just wishful thinking on my part, probably, so... But well, my friends, in hindsight, I probably should have waited until everything was melted, like in 500 cycles. Probably it's the time that it's going to take. And then, after that, we would come over here and build the machinery. But that requires a little bit of forward thinking and planning, and I'm not really an expert on those kinds of things. But well, at least we got a lot done. We have the infrastructure ready to tame these volcanoes once they get into that point, which is pretty nice. And we also got a bunch of upgrades done on our main map, especially when it comes to cooling loops. Right, this loop is now potent enough that it can sustain the entire left bottom quadrant of the map by itself, which is pretty neat. And we also have this thing now taming this water. Hopefully, eventually it's going to chill out to decent temperatures, hopefully, right? And we'll be able to siphon off all of that water and put it into good use. But yeah, rocket fuel, wait a second. Are you coming back? Oh, it's just a rocket coming back. Oof, for a moment I got a little bit scared. But in any case, my friends, and with all of that said, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye.